I wanted to start making short form videos that only show off one sequence or one concept. I think it's just a much more digestible way to take in information, and hopefully it's helpful. So here we go. In talking with a lot of veteran players, when I asked them about what do they think is the best way to teach newer players this game, one theme always seems to come up, which is a lot of the things that veteran players do, they don't have to think about anymore, and it just sort of starts to become instinctual for them. So it's really hard to teach a concept when you're not actively thinking about what that concept is that is steering you towards one decision or another. My goal for these videos is to hopefully try to break down those things that have become instinctual for a lot of players and try to give them like a name and then maybe present it in a teachable way. So a lot of this game comes down to decision making, and I think one way that I'd like to break down this whole decision making concept is this idea of resource imbalance and deciding what to do based on that. In this video, we're going to be focusing on gold. So gold is behind on objective, blue only needs 3 berries to go, and the snail is even on blue's side. So what I see a lot of like newer players do is either they stay too long doing one job, not knowing when to switch off that job, or they just completely decide on doing the wrong thing. So I think one concept that will help players understand what they should be doing is this idea of resource imbalance. So right now in this configuration, we have 2 warriors versus 2 warriors here. And the snail is sort of uncontested. It is kind of contested because blue skulls could come up to try to take out the snail runner. But in general, let's just focus on this area right here. In this 2 warrior versus 2 warrior configuration, there's not much of an imbalance. There's a slight imbalance because when a berry runner comes, then one of the gold warriors has to come down in order to pick off that drone. So it's really like 3 resources versus 2. But that sort of imbalance is not too bad. Now let's play this video a little bit. And what we're going to see immediately happens is one of the gold warriors goes down. So now there has to be a shift in position. So that last position wasn't too bad. The gold warriors were trying to take the outside. They might have been able to set up a double pinch on both of these warriors if the middle warrior was able to bump both of these warriors maybe once or twice. But now what we see happening is an imbalance on over the blue hive. What this generally means is this warrior is sort of outgunned right now. If the drones start coming in with berries, it's going to be very hard for this drone to be able to keep out the berry runners, especially with these 2 warriors in this position. So Gold Abs' job is no longer to stay with this snail, right? I think what I see a lot of players do is they say, okay, I'm snail guard, I'm just going to sit over this snail. And like, unless things become super dire, I'm not going to move off this snail. And even when things do become very dire, then maybe the opposite happens, and then they completely ignore the snail runner and they go try to like double up or triple up on guarding the win condition of the other team. But what we're going to see here is now there's 3 resources versus the 1 resource on gold trying to defend these berries coming in. So it's very clear what gold abs should be doing, which is they need to start to come to support what's happening over here. And you see both gold abs and gold queen do that, which is probably the right decision. But yeah, now we're going to see how this plays out. So now this is a much better setup, right? Gold abs is able to push out both of these warriors to the strong side of the hive, which allows this warrior to do their primary job, which is to kill these berry runners. Now, another thing that I want players to recognize is that you need to understand, as gold abs, you need to understand what your job is. Your job isn't to kill the berry runners, because in doing so, you're doubling up on doing the same job as gold stripes. Your job is just to create space in order to allow gold stripes to kill the drones. Giving up this top position allows these warriors to take outside positions on these warriors and make for a much easier kill. So that's what we're going to see here. Gold abs is not going to leave the ceiling. which allows gold stripes to take out those berry runners. Now the snail has been able to move, and that is due to like all the action that was going on here, but also Gold Queen is sort of ferrying the snail. A couple of bumps happen there, and then these warriors are able to kill this warrior. And now what we're gonna see is now there's a resource imbalance in the other direction over here. So you no longer need both of these warriors in this same position anymore, and gold abs can go do something else. Go do something else that's more useful, which is probably going to be to try to help your snail runner. But things move very, very quickly, and what we're going to see is the blue queen is going to come try to help over here. But you see that decision making happen right away for gold abs. They no longer stay in this position because they know that gold stripes already has the defensive position here. There's no longer imbalance. You are overcommitting resources to this side if gold abs decides to stay. So gold abs leaves, and then now the decision becomes, do they need to go help the snail? No, because it's already being covered. So they come back over here because the gold queen versus one warrior is the warrior's generally in a bad position there. And gold abs takes the position of what gold stripes was doing, which was keeping out the berry runners, because gold stripes can no longer fulfill that job because they were basically having to fight the queen. They take a swipe over here, and that's where we're going to end the video. So hopefully the concept that I was trying to illustrate really came through, which is one helpful way to determine what you should be doing is trying to look at resource imbalances on the map. If your teammates are being like outgunned in any particular area, that's generally a indicator that you should be going to try to help that teammate. And if that teammate is already fulfilling a job, that also generally means that you shouldn't be trying to double up on doing that particular job, and you should go and try to do something else. Hopefully this was helpful. If I missed anything or if you have any questions, just let me know.